Hello, everyone. My name's Dean. Let's talk crypto. This is where you subscribe for daily Bitcoin updates and technical analysis. We track the price of Bitcoin as a proxy for the cryptocurrency markets at large. Today is December 14th, 2021, and this is the live stream, the Tuesday live stream. Welcome. Hope you had a great day, great evening, wherever you are. Welcome to the live stream. Today in the live stream, we're going to discuss what Bitcoin is doing. Bitcoin right now is in chop. It's in very confusing price action. This is the black diamond of trading right here, right where you're at. If you're trading this successfully, you need to be a successful, or you need to be a professional trader, because this is as hard as it gets. All right, so we're going to get into what Bitcoin's doing in the immediate short term, in the medium short term, and sort of, because not everybody that consumes the live stream is subscribed, we're going to go and touch on our long-term view of Bitcoin. Is the bull run over? What can we expect in the coming months? So we're going to touch on all of that. All right, first things first, let's check that we're live streaming, right? Let's check that we're live. We look live. All right, great. Hello, IC. Hello, everyone. All right, perfect. And I'm sorry that I'm late. I had to put in a short. Just like I said this morning, we went up to test these ranges, except what I didn't see this morning was that we were going to come down to the bottom of this B range here. Let me get my pen out. So this is Bitcoin 15-minute time frame, just so we can see some detail. This is clearly a complex correction, B wave. But if you look at this on the aggregate, you actually, here, let me get rid of this line. It's bothering me. All right, if you look at this on the aggregate, what you're seeing here is an A, B, C. It's very clear. It's always clear, after after it's formed, right? The tricky part of trading is being able to see this stuff before it's fully formed. Once it's fully formed, it just slaps you in the face. All right. So I didn't see that this entire thing was an A, B, C. This morning, I just thought this was a B wave. I didn't see this forming, and as a result, this. However, I did get lucky enough to get in on this long on the bottom here, and now I'm in this short. All right, and where are we going? Of course, we're talking about Bitcoin here, but you can just use any other asset, because most assets are going to follow Bitcoin to a T. Very simply, if this right here is an A wave, and the A wave very precisely goes from here, right? Starts here. And why does it start there? Let me zoom in. Here's what we had. Here's where I originally called for reversal after the end of this C wave, okay? And the sort of capitulation, or the trend exhaustion here. That is the wick that told me we're done. We're reversing course. And we got a nice big bounce of an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave that I thought was going up. Alas, it didn't. And I got wrecked. I got stopped out. And we come down and form another correction. Okay? So this is how ugly and how difficult charting and trading can be. You don't see this often. You don't see two corrections back to back, just randomly sort of superimposed. What we tend to see is correction side to side in a B wave, but superimposed one on top of the other. I mean, if you don't know anything about Elliott, like, how do you even read this, right? Like, you have your C wave, which is complete, and you're supposed to break out, but you don't break out, and you get another rejection because it's in Bitcoin. The whole rest of the market pretty much follows suit. And so a lot of people lost a lot of money that day. Okay, a lot of stops, triggered a lot of liquidations just because it was so unprecedented, right? You don't have that in the charts. You don't have, oh, when you get one correction, you're likely to get another correction. No, that was a bit of a surprise, but that's why you use stops, okay? And this is why trading is so difficult. But let me tell you, anybody listen to this right now that trades, if you're passionate about it, if you're excited about it, if you enjoy trading, you have to enjoy it. If you don't enjoy, you're never gonna make it, okay? You might get lucky once or twice, but you're never gonna make it. It's too difficult of a trade, of a profession, of an activity to do casually, successfully, okay? But if you enjoy it, you're not going to quit when you get wrecked. You're not going to quit when you liquidate your account. You're not going to quit when you blow up your account. You're going to find better ways. You're going to improve, and you're going to keep going, and eventually you're going to get it. You're going to be profitable. You're going to be in the 5 to 10% of people that pick up this activity and actually do it profitably. That's the key. There's no other secret. You just have to, you just have to do it. You have to do it and get better and better and better. Okay, each and every time you blow up your account, you figure out what the heck you did, and you come back better, and you develop strategies. You start paying yourself. You start only trading high probability setups. You're more disciplined in setting your stops, so on and so forth. Okay. I know not everybody trades, but I feel it necessary to touch on that for those of you who do, because it's such a lonely activity and it does take some doing to get good at. Anyway, this right here is ABC. This is where we lost it, and this is the start of this A wave, okay? And that's important to be specific. Why? Because when you're measuring the target for the short I'm currently in, you have to use this A wave. You can't use anything more. The top of B, which all of this is, right? This is clearly A, B, C, 3 waves, right? Everything's 3 waves and 5 waves, okay? It's really simplistic, but it gets complex. You know, when are you going into 3 waves? When are you going into 5 waves? If you can figure that out, you'll master trading. That's it. And now we get 5 waves down. Okay, so I expect Bitcoin in the immediate short term to come down to between 45.4 and 44.6. Okay, this is the region. Why? Very simply put, in Elliott wave theory, when you have an ABC correction, the C wave tends to project to the 1 to the 1, 2, 3, 6 Fibonacci extension of the A wave. That's why it's so important to be specific and to be specific in measuring that A wave. Do you see? I measured the A wave, I took the retrace of the B wave, and that's where I anticipate Bitcoin will find a support. Okay, and now let's zoom out a bit, larger time frame, and we see that it is not completely all the way down to where we wicked, but it is it is maybe halfway, right? It's a bottom, okay? And I don't anticipate us staying there too long. I think because there's going to be trend exhaustion, right? Because we're getting 5 waves down. What I anticipate seeing going down, now let's go back on smaller time frame. Whoops. I anticipate getting something like this. A quick wick down at that 5 wave. Boom, 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 boom. And then your A wave come and retrace and regain this level, this 618 level, okay? And then obviously your B wave come and retrace, and then your C wave. And that is when I finally anticipate our returning to the range highs. What are the range highs? If you're subscribed to the channel, you'll know the range highs in this case are the top of the 2-wave, which I'm referring to 58 to 59K, right? This is the 618 of the larger drop. Here is where I anticipate we return. So I anticipate we get 5 waves up here. So an impulse up here. And that's in Bitcoin. So we should be looking at about, 20%, something like that, 20% in Bitcoin. And I don't know, to be honest, I don't know if we're going to go immediately up or if we're going to, because this is a corrective phase, it's very hard to tell, right? And this is one of the reasons I don't trade Bitcoin when it's in these corrective phases, right? The general trend is down, and this is a counter trend, right? This 2-wave is a counter trend. So I don't know. This is a range high. Is it going to go straight as I just drew, or will it do something like this? I don't know. And this is what makes any chop, large time frame or small time frame, so challenging to trade. So that's what I see small time frame with Bitcoin. Right now, we're about to come down. Okay, you can see the volume here is decreasing. You see decreasing volume as the price increases, so you know that a drop is imminent, right? That's volume divergence. It's like trading 101 or charting 101. And then anytime you see 3 waves, know a correction is finished, right? 3 waves. This is it's that simple, right? Not to oversimplify, but it's that simple. You see 3 waves, anticipate that trend. If the 3 waves are going like this, right, that means they're counter to the original trend, which is down, okay? So the 3 waves are counter to, the 3 waves end up, right? The first wave is going to be in the direction of the counter trend. The second wave is going to be the direction of the trend. Third wave, direction of the counter trend. So after it's all said and done, you're going back down, right? That's why I think it's simple enough to read. Ever since this morning, you could see, all right, we're coming back down. If this was properly identified as an A wave, which I think I did, okay? Larger time frame, all right? What do I anticipate? A lot of people are afraid. Very few people actually read with some. Very few people are capable of charting like rudimentary charting and rudimentary chart reading. You would be surprised. Those of you who are subscribed to this channel, you're in the minority if you can read a chart and you can tell a general pattern and a trend. Most people just think it's luck. Most people think it's at the whims of whatever news comes out that day. The news, the fundamental factors do affect price, but there are larger trends at play that probabilistically play out more often than not. And this is why technical analysis is so accurate. This is, why it works. Why it can be so accurate. It depends on who is interpreting it. Let me just really quickly check for, hi Wakar. Any questions? But yeah, all right. So that's basically what I'm seeing on the short term, and now larger time frame. All right. So those of you who are subscribed will have heard this, but it stands to repeat because there's so many people that have no clue what's going on. Okay, and now it's very popular. You have influencers, right, who are their whole bit is they're analysts, they're technical analysts, and they have no clue. And I'm not sort of, I'm not looking down on them, because this is very difficult. It's very challenging. It doesn't matter how many followers you have on Twitter or how big your YouTube following is. You're going to be wrong. But how wrong? A lot of those people were calling for 100K in December, when it was very clear from this point on, even from this point on, the ending diagonal that you see here, that that's the end of a trend. That's the end of a trend right here, right? And so you're looking at a larger ABC correction, okay? It's not that difficult to see. Now, what's more challenging is the smaller moves. When is it gonna do this or that? All right, and that's why trading is another monster. Charting is, compared to trading, charting is simple. Especially in large time frame. Like no shit. Like you can tell A, B, C, right? My kid can tell that. He also repeats that every time I'm charting, and I'm saying that to myself. He's like, I can finish that, Dad. But what's complicated here is we don't know what this C wave is going to look like perfectly, but we know it's coming down, okay? And a lot of people aren't sure about that, right? They're still holding out hope for breaking the highs. Let's just say, and let me go on this Bitcoin chart so I can erase things. This is the one I use when I trade Bitcoin, and I'm not trading Bitcoin right now, so I can play with this one. It's quite obviously going down. 5 waves up. Let's keep it simple. Elliott wave theory is really simple, and a lot of people like to overcomplicate it. Obviously, you can get into the weeds, a series of complex corrections and all that stuff. But fundamentally, if you understand the basics, you can outperform the market quite substantially as an investor, right? 5 waves up, 3 waves down. That's it, right? So basically, the name of the game is sell around here and buy back around here, because after we finish this and exhaust the downtrend, wow, that's when the actual bull run starts. We haven't been in a bull run, okay? So people say, are we still in a bull run? We've never been in a bull run. Technically, we've never been in a bull run. But what constitutes a bull run? If a bull run is a series of higher highs and higher lows, I guess technically a B wave is a bull run, but it's not really a bull run, right? We're not in an uptrend, an impulsive uptrend, which I would say, according to Elliott wave theory, that's a bull run. That's when you really up only. That's when you just you close your eyes, you long, and everybody's making money. Here is a little more tricky, right? And so, are we technically still in a bull run? Answer: we've never been in a bull run. Question: is Bitcoin in a bear market? Answer: we've been in a bear market since April, if technically speaking. This has been a correction. This has been corrective since April, okay? And the bear market, I guess, series of lower highs and lower lows are the 2 legs of the ABC correction. Question: when will Bitcoin bottom out? Locally, I think we're going to bottom out around 45, 44, okay? Globally, large time frame, I think that is the easiest guess, 30K, okay? ABC, very simply put, you take your extension, Fibonacci extension, from the top of the A wave to the bottom, the retrace of the B wave, which would be your all-time high, 70K, from the 1 to 1, 2, 3, 6, that's basically 32K to 27K, something like that. I'm not being precise, right? But thereabouts. This is about 30K, You're going back to 30K. And you've seen this before. And it's very common now. You see on crypto Twitter, you see on the news, people are talking about these patterns, the three dome pattern or something like that. But essentially, they're talking about an ABC correction. there's really nothing I've seen as elegant in the sense that the answers are very profound yet simple. Like 5 waves up and 3 waves down. There's nothing more to Elliott wave theory. There's also obviously more to it than that, but fundamentally, it's just 5 waves up and 3 waves down. Okay, and if you can master that, you will outperform the market as a trader, as an investor, right? So yeah, 3 domes, this and that. Like there's just more complex ways of explaining, of portraying what we already know to be true. Okay, that's why with a high degree of confidence, I can say there's very, very little way you're seeing 60K. You're going to see 30K before you see 60K. Okay, I don't know if it's going down to 30K. It could be a running. This can be a running flat, right? We can end up, bottoming out at 35, 38. I don't know. It doesn't matter right now, right? We can track it. We're going to track it. We track it every day. So we're going to track it. We're not going to be caught unawares. Unlikely that we're caught unawares on that. However, like 60K, 75K, no. Anybody who's listening to this, if you're subscribed to the channel, if you want to do yourself a favor, unstake everything so you're ready to sell. And what you do, you wait for Bitcoin to start moving up in this 2-wave correction. Let's zoom in real quick. And let me just say, this is financial advice. I'm quite confident. Obviously, you do what you want to do, and in that sense, I'm just telling you what I'm doing, okay? So in that sense, it is financial advice, but obviously, you take responsibility for your actions, and you do what you want to do. But what I'm doing is, the majority of my assets are going to be liquidated once Bitcoin makes its way up, back up, here. So this is the 1 wave. Wait, no, this is the 1 wave right here. Okay, so once Bitcoin makes its way back up here, right, and finds its way up around the top of the 2 wave, right? 2 waves can end at the 382, right? So you have to be careful. They can end at any point between the 382 and the 618. So you're just looking for 3 waves, counter trend. The trend is down. So 3 waves, counter trend. In the time it takes Bitcoin to do this action, I would try and liquidate my assets. I'm looking to liquidate my VRA bags. I'm looking to liquidate any other assets I have, because this leg down after that is going to be heinous. And we can already measure it, kind of, on the balance of probability. And how do we do that? Very simply, and just fundamentally speaking, I've mentioned this before. The 3rd wave is when most market participants realize that we're in that trend. They don't realize it in the 1st wave. Few realize it in the 1st wave. Even fewer in the 2nd wave, because then they're like, no, but we're going up, right? The 3rd wave is when they realize, oh shit, this is for real. But by then it's too late, okay? So don't be caught in the 3rd wave. That's all I'm saying, okay? The 3rd wave is going to be heinous. And let's go on log auto. And measuring that, it's going to be top. Oh, crap. Wrong tool. Fib extension tool. Trend-based fib extension. I use 3 main tools in TradingView. The Fibonacci extension tool, this one that I'm using right now, and then the Fibonacci retracement tool. And then a few the Elliott waves here and there. Okay, and the retrace, let's just say we get a generous retrace to the 618. Okay, that third wave is coming down. No, this doesn't work. All right, there's no way the third wave is going to the 1618. Given the first wave, looks like we got an extended first wave, okay? In that case, the third wave probably comes down to the 1, meaning 33K. And then you get a truncated fifth to 30. I can see that happening. Because we got such a long first wave right here, I can see us getting a truncated third wave. So that's what I'm seeing long term. All right. Let's see. Any questions? Since you go with the theory that we are in a bigger fifth wave. Hi, Daniel. Move down. Don't you think that be too much when we expect every wave being approximately the same length as wave 1? Oh yeah, good question. Yeah, we're thinking the same. Yeah. So if you get, so the idea with wave extensions, Daniel, is according to Elliott wave theory, the third wave is never the shortest, but it doesn't have to be the longest. Okay. So that being said, there is a possibility you can have an extended first wave. That's possible. If you have an extended first wave, that means you can have a shorter third wave. But then if you have a shorter, if your wave 3 is shorter than wave 1, then wave 5, it's okay as long as wave 5 is shorter than wave 3. And then it doesn't break any of the rules. There are only a few rules in Elliott wave theory, right? That's just one of them. That wave 3 can never be the shortest. And that's pretty much what I'm seeing there. Any alts that you guys want to look at? Because that's pretty much it with Bitcoin. I mean, it's just right now you want to really be on your P's and Q's. You want to try and sell your bags during the 2 wave. Not right now, but wait until we at least hit the 382 of the retrace and start liquidating your assets. I think that is the most useful thing you can do, because if you do that, you won't care that it's nuking down to 30K or wherever, you're just going to be in accumulation mode. You're automatically in accumulation mode the second you start the second you divest yourself of the assets in a downtrend, you're automatically in accumulation. And I think that's the way to play this. So that's what I'm looking to do. And that's probably the most challenging thing, right? Now, you're waiting and seeing, okay, where's a good exit point, right? That's an exit strategy. And it's going to be different for every asset. But essentially, if you track Bitcoin, you'll know that you only have 3 waves to do it, right? Every correction happens in 3, right? No matter what it looks, every correction happens in 3, but complex corrections can happen in 5, right? Because you can get W, X, Y, X, Z. But you still have 3 phases of that. So whatever this looks like, look for the 3 waves and be very, very careful once we start hitting that 382. Once we start hitting that 382, know that we can turn around at any moment in time, okay? It's not up to me or anybody else to tell you sell now. I could be wrong and say, hey, Bitcoin's going to keep going, and then be wrong, and then we're in the 3rd wave. And once we're in the 3rd wave, you're going to know we're in the 3rd wave. So, yeah, I think that's the big task, if you haven't already liquidated assets up here. It's all about doing it on the retrace, because this kind of caught people unawares. Boom. That's the key, or that's not the key. That's the definition of an impulse. You don't know it's coming until it hits, and you don't know you're in it until you're in it, and you can't. There was no time to get out, right? So before we get into another impulse, you want to get rid of your stuff. And if I can say anything to help anybody that follows this stream, that follows this channel, it's that get the hell out while you still can. Don't sell the bottom. I mean, you can sell the bottom if you want. You do whatever the hell you want, but I wouldn't sell the bottom. I'd wait until Bitcoin bottoms out here and starts trending up. measure this whole move. Like I said, wait until we hit the 382 to the 618. Once we're in this region, Bitcoin can turn around at any point in time, right? But it's likely to turn around after you see 3 waves. Okay, so that's basically it. Any other alts? I mean, once you track Bitcoin, this is a beauty of tracking Bitcoin properly. Once you have a good handle on what Bitcoin's doing, it's like a a master key to understanding the entire market and whatever your favorite alt is doing or capable of doing even. So, let me just check the questions on my phone. One second. Here we go. All right. Yeah, any ADA. Okay, let's look at ADA. So ADA, last I checked, was still in, was already in its C wave. But yeah, let's have a look. ADA. That's one thing. ADA, by the way, I love. That's one project, one altcoin I'm super passionate about. There aren't that many projects that like I'm like a big believer in, and I feel like will change the world. I think Cardano will change the world, and so that's one that I'm looking to accumulate, like for real, like accumulate hard. Last I checked, something like 30 to 35 cents. I'm looking at to be an ADA whale. So we'll see. Let's see. So last I checked. All right, let's go on log and auto just to make sure we have perspective. Let's go. Oops. Get off auto. Okay, so we don't have a full chart, but we don't need a full chart. And that's the beauty of Bitcoin being a market leader. You know that this is likely a B wave because that's what Bitcoin was doing at that time, right? So you don't confuse this for being a 5-wave impulse. It is a 5-wave impulse, but it's the latter portion of a B wave, right? So you have your A, B, C. You have you basically have your smaller ABC. So your larger ABC was, let's see. It wouldn't fit on the screen, but I think you see what I'm talking about. Something like that. This was the larger ABC, and now you have a smaller ABC because you always need to pivot. You can't just turn around. So this is what I think we got, and that's how we got a new all-time high in ADA at $3, okay? And now it's already started its descent in its larger C by starting its smaller C. So basically it's in its first wave, and I think it's still there. So let's look more closely. Let's zoom in. So now that I always like to start zoomed out so we have some context as to where we're at. So zooming in on the daily. By the way, I like using 4-day chart sometimes, just because I'm a strong believer that our universe is base 4. There's 12 hours in a day, 12 months in a year, 360 degrees in a circle, 12 planets. Base 4 is important. Anyway, I can get into that, but that's why I like to use the 4-day, and very few people use the 4-day, but I think it gives really good insights. Anyway, this is the smaller ABC, okay? And we're clearly in an impulsive wave down, okay? And this is what I've tracked so far in ADA. Let me erase this and forget what I did prior to this. So that looks like a first wave. That looks like a second wave, right? And if you take the fib, let's turn off the logs. Looks like this is the. Looks like this was the top. Looks like you got an A, B, and then you started down. So this is the top, and it hit the 618 right here. You see that? So this is a 2-wave, and that 2-wave looked like it did an A, B, C, and it did one of those sideways corrections. So you see this? That is A, B running flat. Okay, so that was basically people saying, "Oh, ADA's holding strong. It's it's keeping support. It's so good at holding support." That's basically ADA doing a running flat. So that's your 2-wave for me. Counter trend running flat. That's 2. This is 1. And this is the pivot into 3. So A, B, C. Third wave starts here. And this is where I think we're at currently. This is why it's so. It's like a never-ending descent into hell for ADA people, unfortunately. Now, how far are we going to go down in this third wave? Let's measure. So we measured the 2-wave. That seems legit. Let's measure the third wave based on the 2-wave. So projecting the third wave based on the 2-wave, it's just the 1618 to the 2. If you get an extension, it's 2618, 3618, and so on and so forth. Okay, so this is the top of 1. This is the bottom of 1, and this is the top of 2. Right here. So 1618 to the 2. We're coming down to between 94 and 60 cents. This is what I'm seeing. Okay. I'm not gonna even try to go into the detail of what the third wave is. It's tough, right? And it's a bit of a losing effort. I've tried to do it. I've learned my lesson. I think it's just slap a trend line on it. As soon as it breaks trend, it'll break the trend line, and then you're in your fourth wave. Otherwise, it's probably likely that you hit your 1618 and your 2 before you stop bleeding in your third wave. Your fourth wave retrace to the 382, fifth wave around here. That's why I said ADA bottom, question mark, question mark, question mark. I anticipate ADA stop around 30 to 35 cents, at which point it'll be one of the first projects in the market, at least one of the first highly visible projects in the market to complete its ABC correction. So it's going to be a first mover. That's what I'm seeing with ADA, Daniel. Did that answer your question? I know there's a bit of a delay, but let me know if that answered your question. I'll wait a little bit. Awesome. Awesome. Anybody else have any questions? Any other projects you want to have a look at? But yeah, this is a quality project, and price people in our space sometimes they confuse price action for quality of a project. There's a lot of projects. If you can read charts, everything's going to go up and down. Everything is going to have cycles. Okay, everything's not. There's kind of a misunderstanding or a misconception in crypto that if the project is good, if it's not a scam, if it's quality, and it's fundamentally strong, it's going to go up only. Like, that's so ignorant. Like, even if you know nothing about charting, like, what the hell in life, in the universe, has one direction? Everything's cyclical. Everything is cyclical, right? So obviously, no matter how strong the project, no matter how good the fundamentals, it's gonna go up and it's gonna go down, right? And in our business, if you can read when it goes up and when it goes down, like, you're gonna make it. You're gonna make it hard. So that's it. This is a quality project. Fundamentally, one of the strongest projects in our space, in my opinion. One of the best minds in crypto, period, in Charles Hoskinson. I mean, the dude's a genius. He's a fucking genius in terms of the technical, the fundamental. Like, I mean, he has it all. It would be one thing if he was just like technically savvy and capable of programming code and understanding all of those aspects. But he can also speak, and he's a poet and a mathematician. Like, he's one of a kind in our space, right? And he's charismatic, but at the same time, he's a very calm guy. And he's like really young, but at the same time really old. At the same, like, what? Interesting guy. So I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. Correct me if I'm wrong. How long, roughly, you think the entire correction will take until Bitcoin starts the next move? The next larger move, or the next? I'm gonna assume that you're referencing, or you're referring to. Let's go on Bitcoin real quick. So I'm gonna assume that you're referring to the larger move, meaning when we start the actual bull run, right? When we get out of correction that we've been in since April. Hard to say. One of the hardest things to do in crypto is time. And lots of people have been made to look foolish as a result. I'm not against trying to do it. I'm not going to put money on it. But if I had to estimate, here's how I would do it. Very simply. There's symmetry in corrections, right? You have 3 legs. 1, 2, 3, okay? And so, logically, if the first leg took all of 95 days or 3 months, I would say the last leg, which mirrors the first leg, fundamentally and technically, should take around the same time. So I'm expecting, and that's why I drew it like this, around 3 to 4 months. So sometime, this is why I always say sometime in Q1, mid to end Q1. That's where I'm expecting a resumption of upwards price action in Bitcoin and in the crypto market. But like I said, ADA, stuff like that, there are some projects that are going to run sooner. Like Cardano. Cardano will be one of the first high visible, high profile projects to run. Anybody else? Let's check on my link trade. I love trading. I think that's why I'm getting good at it, because I'm a little bit obsessed. I'm not gonna lie. Looks like we've been hanging out here for some time. And that means complex correction. Right? Complex correction. Makes sense, right? Because this move is going to be heinous. This move to the downside is going to be very heinous. So it's giving people time to get out. The market, as much as it's ruthless, it's very forgiving, right? It goes up and down. It gives you ample opportunity to buy and sell at certain positions, right? Like, for instance, like getting into this short, you had all of 2 hours to sell the top, right? You can still do it right now, right? You're literally at the top of this move. And this is quite, here, let's see. Yeah. This is quite obviously a top, okay? You're getting that rounded top right here, boom. So you're looking at this. So the market, in a lot of ways, is ruthless as it can be. It's very forgiving. And here, let's go on the minute chart. You got a complex correction. That's why it's taken all of 2 hours to do. Maybe not the minute, 3 minute. Looks like you had a B wave. Your WX. Okay, here we go. And this is why it helps to count complex corrections. Boom. WXY. Okay, if this is a WXY and not an X2Z, then this is your last chance to short. Right? It can continue, right? This trend can continue further up with a triple three, but balance of probability, you're going to get a double three. Double threes are most likely, what you see when you see complex corrections. And you typically see complex correction when the market's like, hey, by the way, you might want to get ready for what's coming next, because it's going to be a big move. So accumulate all these orders, buys and sells and whatever. I'm giving you time. Yeah. Any other questions? If nobody has any other projects they want to look at, I guess we can just end the stream. For those of you that trade, keep your losses small and your wins big. Don't lose hope. The region that we're in right now, and that we've been in for the past couple days, has literally been one of the most challenging regions for price action. It's just been choppy as hell. And if you manage not to lose your shirt during this time, you're gonna make it. And you're a brilliant trader. And so yeah, don't lose hope. We're not out of the woods just yet, but if you can read this and if you can trade this, then you can read and trade everything and anything. Definitely the black diamond or double black diamond of trading ranges here. It's tough, it's tough. And some crypto YouTubers are crying on stream. It's tough, it's not, I never, it's hard to see people struggle, right? But it's, we're all struggling together, I guess. And some people are outperforming the market, but most are not, right? But I think it's important to just be compassionate and be kind with others that are struggling, because we've all been there before. We've all lost big. So So I see. Are you referring to Link's short term price action, or like uh long term, like the big drop, small drop or big drop? If you're talking about small drop, my target for this trade is simply this. Actually, let me see what it is. Let me go smaller time frame. So my target is going to just first identify the A wave, okay? And here's your A wave in Link. It's the same thing as Bitcoin. Here's your ABC, and then your impulse down. So your ABC, after we thought we were going to reverse, that's the impulse down, right? So this is your A wave. This is your ABC, right? And now you're getting a small pivot, flat correction, and boom, 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 boom. And so to measure this, you simply have to use this and fibs, a little bit of math. So now that we have our A wave, we take our fib trend-based extension tool, or whatever the hell it's called. Top of A, bottom of A, retrace of B, highest point of B, conservative estimate. I always use a conservative estimate to take profit, because you know what? I've gone to sleep, gotten greedy, saw that, oh, it's likely gonna hit the, past the one, or I put the take profit closer to the 1, 2, 3, 6 or something like that. And what happens? I was right. I read it right, did whatever I thought it was gonna do, but I missed my take profit because it had just wicked right before it, because I wasn't taking profits conservatively. So I always set my take profit a touch before the 1, which is the minimum retracement on the balance of probability for these moves. We know that it can always come down to the 618 to 786, right? But more often than not, it's going to hit the 1. So my take profit is going to be 1655 or something like that on this chart. 1655 on my Phemex chart is 1653, I think. So that's where I'm going to take profit at the 1 fib extension of this A wave, which is here. If you're asking larger time frame, then yeah. Oh, long term. Okay. So long term, we do the same things. And this is the beauty of Elliott wave theory. It's simple. It's simple. Anything that works, I think, in nature is simple. It can get complex, but it's simple fundamentally. So we go on whatever time frame you want, 4-day, week, month. Put your log in auto to make sure that you're on the charts properly. This is most likely, just like the rest of the market, a B wave. Okay, this, just like most of the rest of the market, this is your smaller pivot. So this is your break of trend, A wave, okay? You had this trend up of the B wave, you broke the trend with the A wave. You're getting here an A wave. Here you have the wave 2, the second wave of a B wave, right? And now you're looking for a reversal because you don't have 3 waves. And this is why we're trading Link, right? You have 1, 2, you need a third. You need a third here, okay? Don't get confused. So this, you always have a first and a second, okay? So let's ignore that. Within B, you also have to have 3 waves. And you have 1 clear A wave, a B wave that's counter. So you need a C of B. And so this is what we're looking for. Okay? And so you already know that. That's why we're trading Link. And that's why a lot of projects, a lot of altcoins are going to give you all-time highs in this scenario where their how do I say it? The B portion of their mini ABC correction, right? The B portion is incomplete, and they're looking for the impulsive wave of the B portion. You're going to see a lot of projects form all-time highs in the coming month, I think, right? Coming weeks, maybe 2 weeks. I don't know. Okay, now where's a link going to fall? Very simply, even though you don't have your A wave, just like in ADA, you don't have a larger A wave, right? Because a lot of these, well, let's see if we can't find a link chart that has more data. So Phemex tends to have the most. It doesn't have more. It doesn't have any more. Actually, wait, does it? No, it doesn't. Okay. Let's get rid of it. Let's go back to our link chart. Okay. Here we go. Whoops. So long term. If this is the big A. Okay. Oh, yeah. So we have our A wave. Here it is. No, that's the smaller A. That's a smaller A. Yeah, we don't have our bigger A. Okay, so let's just extrapolate. What we can do... So we don't have the larger A wave that comes here. We say that's B. This is the smaller. After we get this, it's going to do something like that, right? What we can do is we can use this A wave here to extrapolate this as wave 1, okay? That's what we can do. But you don't have much data, so it's not the best projection, but here, do your best. So A comes down here, okay? And B, we said, is looking like it's going to 55, between 55 and 60. So let's say this first wave is going to end around 15 to $11, okay? Okay, so if your first wave is between $15 to $11, here's a little trick you can use. Okay, so from 55 to 15, let's just say 13, okay? Here's a little trick you can use. On average, and this is something I've noticed, 5 waves usually hit the 2.236. You can project on average the distance, and it's not always, right? Obviously, this is going to differ. But on average, using wave 1, you can come with targets, just rough targets, rough estimates of targets based on wave 1 by extending to the 2.236, okay? So let's say this wave 1 retraced to the 618. Okay, so yeah, that's almost exactly where I got it. So I would say just rough estimate, links coming back to $1, $1.03, $1.04, something like that. Okay, rough estimate. Does that help? I mean, again, this is super rough estimate because I have little to no data. You just saw me use an estimate to make another estimate. So it's not accurate. It can be super accurate, but I wouldn't. I would just obviously, take it a step at a time. Wait until this B wave forms, gives you more data as to the top of this B wave. Then you get your C wave. Once you get your C wave, you get your 1 wave. Then you can do a little more estimation, right? Of course. Any more questions, guys? Any more projects you guys want to look at? If not, I'm going to cut the stream. And thank you for joining. Thank you for staying till the end. Don't forget to like the stream before you leave. If you haven't liked it yet, I always forget to say that. But help other people who are looking for, technical analysis, Elliott wave theory, and whatnot, find this material. All right. Have great times wherever you are. If it's the night, if it's the morning, if it's the afternoon. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.